Hi everybody, it is Janet Keo Conklin. I think this is my third attempt to finish my open house virtual tour. The first time my seller helped, and then we went into the house and I didn't have a good connection, and then so I decided to redo it. And then the second time I was walking out and potential buyer drove past. They're like, oh, I have family living around the corner and I want them to live here. Can I take a look? I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to end that virtual tour really quick. So I'm here in Upland to do a virtual open house, and I want to show you guys around. And if you're looking to buy or sell, definitely contact me. I'm very active, and I can help you guys promote your listing, your property, as well as get the highest offer for your property. I'm here in Upland, and it is a really nice day, super nice day. And I'm wearing my sunglasses because this eye is still very red, and so I'm not going to take it off. So forgive me for wearing my sunglasses. Even if I go inside, I just don't want to frighten you guys. So I'm going to show you. This is a nice community. Plenty of parking here. It's a townhouse that's only 37 units here, and it covers cable, gas, trash, and so basically you're gonna see what it looks like. I'm gonna flip it over. Plenty of parking. See, there's my car right there, and it is a double car garage here. Really quiet and pretty community, and I hope I could finish this before the next appointment comes. Been having a lot of activities right there. So this is the enclosed courtyard. Okay, so you can come through here. So if you have kids, it's perfect, you know, for them to just like hang out in the front while you're cooking. Of course, obey the COVID rules and regulation when you come in. I do love this door right there, and it's really nice out there. So welcome to the inside. So I'm gonna lock the door so nobody's coming up behind me. All right, so we're inside this unit. It is a 2-story unit, and I'm going to show you around. Wear your gloves. Hand sanitizer. So this is the first floor bathroom right there. And it comes with a nice security code alarm. And I'm gonna run through this really fast because I've shown everybody this the first time around. This is when those other buyers were like, can I take a look at your property? So the washer and dryer is included, okay? So this has a lot of storage space right here. Isn't this a smart thing? You can put here and you know where your car should stop. Okay. Wonder Woman, my favorite character. Favorite hero character. So this is the living room with a nice vaulted ceiling. Now, if you're looking to buy this place, your payment is a little around $2,200, principal and interest. If you're looking at 3%, I'm going to discuss that later in terms of what your payment would look like for a starter home like this. Okay, so here we go. This is a nice patio entry right there. Okay, but you also have another entry as well. This is very nice kitchen with canned lighting. So the refrigerator is included in here, okay, which is a nice added bonus. So while you're cooking, if you have your kid playing around, they can always play right there while you're watching them, okay? So right here, love the doors, so nice. And then this is the patio right there. What I like about this property is that it is so quiet. This community is so quiet. And you can see right there is the swimming pool, you guys. It's within walking distance. Love the olive tree. Love, love, love olive tree. You know, it's just a symbol of peace. And it's just beautiful. So I'm going to go back in. Right there. Lock it up. There we go. So I'm going to discuss payments and stuff like that. So this is the closet door right here. We're going to go upstairs. And there is extra lighting up there. Okay. So if you have a roommate or one child, or this is perfect for a small family or 2 roommates, what have you. I'm going to show you that bedroom later. So this is the master bedroom right here. And I like the mirror, you know, so it's a nice mirror. Ooh, somebody forgot to put their ironing board away. There you go. And, you know, you could actually see, look, peek out. You can see the swimming pool right there. Okay, maybe I should show you guys, right? I could. Right there. There. I'm going to open the curtain more. Yeah. I just don't want to go outside because somebody might want to come over again. So you have 2 entry to this restroom. Smile, it says. So it's very clean. Hi guys. Right there. And then this is the second bedroom. You gotta love the Wonder Woman right there. So this is the second bedroom right there that you could use as an office. Right? So my seller, she's very active. Somebody who's very fit. It's good to be fit, right? So here we go. Nice high ceiling right there. Okay. Smile. Hi. Smile. This is my 3rd attempt to do the Facebook Live, so I'm quite shocked that I still have reception, because when I did the first time, I was like spin, 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 and I have my glasses on, so you guys won't see what a horrible monster I am. Bloodshot still. So much about me. Let's show you the house. Right? So I wanted to share with you guys, you know, what it takes to own a home. Now, I got some people that came in, so I gave them some free refrigerator magnet right there. Right there. There are people who's going to come in. Actually, they came through already. There was a couple that was supposed to come with their agent at the appointment's at 3:30, and when I was doing my first attempt with Facebook Live, they're out there, and I'm like, "Oh, can I help you?" And they're like, "We have an appointment to look at the property." I said, and so I look at the time. It was like for 3:30, and the poor people came from San Diego, and they're waiting here outside. I'm like, "Well, is your agent here?" They're like, "No." And then so, long story short, I cut my Facebook Live open house tour short so that I could show them the property. And then I said, well, if you have other properties to look at, go ahead and look at it afterwards, because you got to write an offer today, because I have maybe 3 people who are highly interested in looking at this property and writing it up. And so I was, I didn't want them to sit in the heat, and so just showed them around, even though it's somebody else's client. I just wanted to at least accommodate them so they won't be sitting outside, just, and then we gave them some water, right? So anyhow, just to oops, sorry. That was my selfie stick. So I just wanted to share with you in terms of payment, right? If you're a first-time buyer, what to expect and what to do in order to start your process in home ownership. I think when I did a segment with Suli Saro, and was the guest co-host for her thing, and Rex Richardson was, starting the conference, the Zoom meeting. A lot of us agents got together and we were talking about home ownership. There we are. See, when I'm outside, there's a better connection. So let me share some information with you for people who are looking to buy a house. Like I said, there's a process in order for you to buy a house. You just don't get up and get in your car and look for a home, right? You have to know what your budget is, and that's the start. Is it's called counseling, budget counseling, more like talking to the mortgage lender and looking at your income, your expense, and your debt. Here I have this sheet right here, and it's also in my website. So, items you'll need when applying for a home mortgage. This is listed in my website, but sources of income. Okay, so before you even go out shopping with your realtor, you got to know how much you can afford, and so payment wise, and so that when you are actually going to go out there, you're not buying something that is over your budget, and that you can make your monthly payment. And this also includes, the principal, the interest, and with a townhouse, also consider HOAs. Okay, so when you're looking to buy a house, do consider the cost of HOA into your payment. So if your payment is $2,000 and the HOA is $400, you got to consider that. So it will be $2,600 if it's 22 plus 400. So another thing that you need to also consider is insurance, property insurance. So if your house, you buy a house, consider that too. So basically make sure that you do all the math and know what your final payment will be, and payments usually, like if you're looking at $2,000 and it's about 3%, you're looking at $400,000 as a home that you can afford. So payment versus affordability and sizes of a home, okay? Going back to sources of income, when you apply for a mortgage loan, they're going to want to know, they want to see your pay stub. They want to know your last two previous pay stub, copies of your W-2, tax record for 2 years, and income source. So if you're self-employed, they'll want to see your tax return, right? Assets. Here's something very important. They want to know, what's in your IRA, what's in your 401k, market value, what is in your bank statement. They want to see all pages. So if you download your bank statement and you only give them, the underwriter or your lender, 2 pages and it says 2 of 5, then you have to include all 5. That's something that you should know about. Liabilities, payment and balances, account numbers, what credit cards you still owe, child support, alimony, copy of divorce decree. That's important too. And so those are the things that you have to consider when you're applying to buy a house and doing a loan. Is if you're paying alimony or child support and you're saying you're making $5,000, but then out of that $1,000 is going out, your income is actually only $4,000. So make sure you are very upfront with your lender when you're pre-qualifying it yourself or your realtor. Just make sure of that. For VA loans, they need a DD 214 and certificate of eligibility. Now with VA loan and FHA loan, they're really, really particular. So I'm going to talk to you later about, like, when I get an offer, sellers and listing agents, when we get offers, there's a different order of importance in which order and we would accept. For instance, if somebody made a all cash offer, then that would be the first offer we would take over somebody who has an FHA loan or a VA loan, because those two are very particular, and so they would require a longer time frame and more scrutiny versus cash, and then your conventional loan, okay? And then also contingency, so when you're making a straight cash offer, 15 days, it'll go fastest. So next thing to consider is, if you're self-employed, your current profit and loss statement and corporate tax returns for the last 2 years. Other source of information or income is Social Security that you need to provide, and residence, like where you live for the past 2 years. So these are some of the homework that you need to gather before you run into the car with your realtor, because you might not be able to. It's like, what you call it, caviar dreams with a cracker or beer budget, so it's common. A lot of people want something that is in a higher bracket, but then when you come down to it, affordability is totally different. So the lender and the underwriter will be a lot more strict with lending right now, although interest rate has gone down very, very low. We're just basing this on 3%. A lot of people can get into a home, an FHA home loan, with just 3% down. Okay, so some people can just buy a house with 3.5% down and a small deposit. Not to say that that's the best route, but if you're looking to get yourself in, and you could do an FHA loan, and you qualify and you have, decent credit, like 620, you're in. Okay, you can qualify for an FHA loan. So there are different loan programs that will help you get into a house. And so the misunderstanding that people have is that they have to come with a sizable down payment to afford a house. And that's not true, because a lot of my buyers that I work with are able to buy a house with only 3.5% down, and sometimes my lender would help with some closing costs, as well as I myself can help with some closing costs too. But you know, there are help out there, so don't feel like you don't have an option, because lenders can make, you know, they do get what you call, I won't call it kickback because that sounds really weird, but points, right? So depending on interest rate, you know, some they could charge you 3%, but then, you know, give you help you with the closing costs up to the amount of a certain percent. You know, I had a client who got $10,000 back for their closing costs, and another one didn't have to pay anything. Between myself and my lender, we are able to help them with the closing costs. And just to let you guys know, the process of buying a home takes about 3 months from the time that you get a pre-qualified letter to shopping to going into escrow. Okay, so don't go shopping, especially during COVID time, without getting a pre-qualified letter. Do yourself a favor, okay? Don't, if you were to come to me and I'm your buyer's agent and I represent you, and me as a selling agent here, I always require the people coming through our door to have a pre-qualified letter, okay? So basically it means that the lender checks your credit, make sure you know, check the credit, and also, you know, your income, and so that they can understand how much you can qualify for and based on what interest rate. So don't shop without that, okay? You're going to waste a lot of people's time, because right now, whenever people make an appointment, we always ask for the pre-approval letter to get through the door, okay? Because no one wants somebody to come through their door, you know, especially COVID, unless you bring, you know, a PED. A PED is a, you know, permission form that allows you to get in. So as a seller's agent myself, this is the form right here. And I don't know if you guys could see it. It's called a coronavirus property entry advisory and declaration form. So that's one form that the buyer's agent has to provide me, so that I can do what you call contact tracing. So before you guys go anywhere into a property, your agent has to send that to the listing agent, which I'm a listing agent for this property, and then I will send it to my seller. And then so if anything happened and somebody has COVID, we can always trace them down because of that form. Secondly, have your pre-qualification letter ready, okay? So before that, if you are supposed to coming through somebody's door, their agent should have a mask available, gloves, booties, you know, these are shoe covering right there, and also hand gloves and sanitizers. So just sharing with you what's going on with listings and properties. It's still hot. I just listed this a week, and I have a lot of showings, and probably will get 3 offer on this property. But I just wanted to share with you guys that, you know, if you're gonna think about selling your property, get it ready. Talk to your agent or me. You know, I will give you a free consultation and market your property and get it ready, and do some virtual tours like this. We are not allowed to put signposts out, and we're not allowed as realtors to do open houses. We can only do virtual tours and appointment only. So if anybody's interested in, you know, looking at this property or looking to sell their property, you know, let me know, because I could help you out. Send your buyers too. But yeah, there is definitely a procedure to selling homes and looking at homes now during the COVID era. And so I am going to cover the payment for, like somebody was like, hey, how much is a payment for a home, right? So I'm going to cover this one. This one has an HOA of $410, which covers, the trash, the swimming pool, landscaping, and basic cable, which is pretty good. Very good. So let me sit down here and read this out to you. And forgive me for wearing the sunglasses indoor because my eye is still bad, and so I'm just trying to look cool still. No, I just don't want to scare you guys away here. If I take out my glasses, maybe I'll wear my reading glasses, so then you won't see it so badly. But I'm going to tell you what the payment is, so here we go. All right, see, don't stare at my eye too much. All right, so this house is $399,988. And so the interest rate we're looking at is 3%. Okay, so I'm going to help you understand the math for this one here. It's 3%. And so if you're looking to do, let's say, 20% down, right? So if you're doing 20% down on this house is $79,998. Okay, and so your loan amount would be $319,990. And so it's a 30-year term, and principal and interest would be $1,349. Now tax, insurance, and HOA is $877 on top of that. So your payment would be $2,226. Okay, so this is looking at a 30-year conventional loan for this house, which is $399,988. Okay, I love my 9s and I love my 8s. Must be the Asian in me. So now I'm gonna go down the VA. If you're out there, you have a VA loan, okay, which is the 30-year VA loan, 30-year fix, and based on 2.875%. Now, if your interest rate is at 2.85%, okay, and you are not doing any down payment, so the benefit of doing a VA loan is no down payment. I see, we're just doing the scenario. Principal and interest, your payment off of $399,000 loan is $1,660, okay? Versus the conventional one that's 3%, that loan was $1,300 with 20% down. So this is zero down, VA loan 2.875%. So your total payment plus the HOA and insurance is $2,500. Okay, so you can see that that interest rate makes a huge difference because the interest rate was at 3%, but they did 20% down, which is $79,000, right? So the third scenario is a 30-year conventional loan fix. And so in this scenario, the interest rate was higher, but they only did 10% down. So with 10% down is $39,999, okay? That is how much you have to come down with. And so the principal and interest would be $1,567. Mortgage insurance. Now here's the huge difference, is mortgage insurance, okay? Mortgage insurance is a way where, because you did less than 20%, you're paying the insurance, because if you default, then this is just an insurance where you know, if you can't afford it, then the bank is going to repossess it, but then that's what they charge you for not putting 20% down, basically. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't explain it that well. Anything less than 20%, you're going to end up paying mortgage insurance. So on top of that, remember the 877 is the tax and insurance plus the HOA. So that's a lot. So you're looking at $26.69. Still better than some people buying, you know, a home that's more than $400,000. Not bad for a starter home. Okay, you're looking at 10% down. Okay, so we're looking at, you know, this different in terms of payment. Right now, there's something called estimated funds due at cost, which is the total cost of your escrow. Okay, meaning, oh, you mean it's not enough to put a deposit? A deposit is like, hey, I like the house, I'm interested in the house, I'm gonna put either 3% or less. So usually the customary deposit to it's called earnest money to hold on the house. It's about, depending, it could be $3,000, $5,000, or if it's a really nice property and it's very expensive, 3.5%. To show the seller that you're serious, you know. And usually the seller doesn't keep it, but it just shows confidence in the person who's borrowing and the buyer, right? So so by the time escrow close for the 30-year fixed at 3%, and you're doing 20% down, okay, you would need $86,000, yeah, to close escrow for the first scenario. You're doing 20% down, which is $79,998, right? But so basically you would need to close escrow around $86,000, $161. For the VA loan, $7,241. Those are just your escrow costs and everything all in. The last scenario is because you're only doing 10% down to close escrow is estimated to be $46,748. So I wanted to encourage you all to say that, okay, you can't afford to come with 10% down. You can't afford to do 20% down. It's okay. So a lot of my buyers, they look to do an FHA loan, 3.5% down, but then they get those mortgage insurance. But what they normally do, and I advise them to do, is maybe a year from now they have more equity in their property, they could turn around and get a loan. So then they just, you know, if you have a little more equity, then you just get a loan and refinance it and take out the mortgage insurance. Okay, so don't feel bad that you can only come with 3.5%. Just get in the house and get in, and also see if somebody else could help you out with the loan. Sometimes you might not have enough income, so you use your dad, use your aunt, use your sister, use your uncle, whoever it is. Combine your income, combine your credit. Now, just know that your credit is important to the fact that they look at your debt too. So be mindful that the person that you're bringing in, when you're using them to do a what you call combined credit, that their debt's not too high. Okay, so I had buyers who they had to drop the one buyer because they worked part-time and the debt was too high, so we had to take that person and eliminate them from, you know, the scenario. However, I have a scenario of a buyer where it's husband, wife, and a third signer, which is an in-law. And so the wife wasn't on the loan, and because the wife didn't have enough what you call income, but the debt's too high. So what happened was we closed, you know, we did the loan based on the husband and the in-law, the brother-in-law, and then once we closed escrow, we added her to the deed. So that is a possibility too. I don't want you to feel like just because your name is not on the loan that you don't have title to the property. There's many ways to own a home, and just wanted to let you know that you can own your home and you just have to figure out your budget. You just have to cut out the extra latte. You just have to figure out where your expenses are and just take that out, and then budget yourself. Okay, I'm not one to talk about budget, I know, but I'm good at helping my buyers to figure out a strategy, to figure out the roadmap to owning a home. And it starts with talking with me, and it usually starts with like a conception and thought. I would like to buy a home, Janet. And then I would say, where, right? And what is your payment? A lot of people are renters. I worked with a lot of renters where two sisters bought a house, and so husband and wife, and then a sister bought a house together with each other. So they weren't originally going to look to just rent, and they came to me and go, hey Janet, we want to move into a bigger place and combine our income. And I said, well, you're renting and it costs $4,000. You're renting by yourself is $3,000. Together, you guys are paying $7,000. Have you considered, you know, buying a house together, and then figuring out, okay, in terms of how much you guys make, how much house you could afford together, and then eventually down the line, if one of you have to buy out the other, you could buy out the equity. Okay, so basically they did. They bought the house together, and so a third. They, you know, they put the money together, and the down payment was split in a third. So there's always ways for you guys to get your foot in the door, especially if you're looking to do income property. This is the perfect time to do income property, investment property, because the interest rate's very low, very, very low. And so basically the money's practically free. Okay, it is 4:16, so I am going to end my Facebook Live. So let me know if what I've shared with you is helpful. Let me know if you have any question regarding selling your house, regarding home ownership, and you know how you could qualify for a home. And let me know if you like how I dress. Leave a comment. You know, do I look professional? Just kidding. How's my eye? Anyhow, I'm just so grateful that I have this opportunity to talk to you all from my client's home, and I'm able to just sit here and do a virtual tour of her property. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel. And if you guys want to help me out, please feel free to go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and so that I can create more content. And I sure do appreciate that you're paying attention. I know that I do talk a lot, but I hope that the information that I share with you is helpful. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help you guys sell your property, give you information about anything in terms of interest rate or the upcoming initiative with real estate. And right now, best time to buy is now. Money is low. Cost of money is low. And also, this is a magazine that I can send directly to you guys. It's called a Your Home and Life magazine. And this has, you know, things about how you could decorate your house, which, get the look, blue. I know somebody who's decorating the house in blue, or recipes, right? Okay, so let me know if you're interested in that. I'll add you to the mailing list so that you could get a free magazine sent directly to you. Until then, it's Janet Keel Conklin. Appreciate your support. Love you all. And if you need anything else, let me know. Till then, talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all.